A plate drops in the next room. It shatters on the floor. And before anyone can react, he's already on his feet. His heart is racing, shoulders tight, scanning the room. Everyone else freezes for a second, then laughs it off. It's just a plate. But his body doesn't believe that. Not right away. Not completely. For most of history, no one would have called this trauma. They would have called it something else. There has always been a way the human body remembers, not just through thought, but through reaction, through patterns that repeat, even when the moment has passed. Today, we call this trauma, more specifically, post-traumatic stress disorder. But like many mental health diagnoses, the experience came long before the label. This is before it had a name. Before we go further, a quick note. This podcast explores the history of mental health diagnoses. It's not medical advice, not therapy, not a diagnosis. So if you are concerned about yourself or someone else, it's important to speak with a qualified professional. Trauma isn't just about what happened. It's about what the body learned from it. So in moments of extreme stress, the brain shifts priorities. It's not thinking about meaning or memory. All the brain is thinking about is survival. The heart rate starts to increase and your attention span, it narrows, and your body prepares to fight or flee or freeze. And these responses, they're fast, they're automatic, and they're incredibly effective. They're the reason people survive things they shouldn't. But they come with a trade-off. Because once the body learns something is dangerous, it doesn't easily forget. And sometimes it keeps reacting, even when the danger is gone. During World War I, something begins to appear that medicine isn't prepared for. Soldiers are returning from combat different. Some are shaking uncontrollably. Others can't speak. Some haven't slept in days. And others seem distant. They're disconnected. Like they never fully came back. And at first, doctors assume it's physical, some type of damage from explosions. In fact, they name it. They call it shell shock. But something doesn't add up. Some of the soldiers showing these symptoms were never near a blast. They never had an injury or a visible wound, and yet they have the same reactions, which leads to a harder question. If it's not the body, what is it? And there's no clear answer. Some doctors begin to think it's psychological, and others don't agree with that. Some soldiers start being accused of cowardice. They're punished. They're court-martialed. Not because they refused to fight, but because their bodies wouldn't let them go back. And at the time, it seemed like a failure of will. But what's actually happening is something else entirely. The body has learned what it needed to survive, and it hasn't unlearned it yet. After World War I, the term shell shock starts to disappear. Not because the experience is gone, but because the label is uncomfortable. In World War II, a new term takes its place: combat fatigue. It sounds more manageable, right? Less permanent. More like something that can be recovered from. And in some ways, the understanding does begin to shift. There's a growing recognition that anyone under enough stress can reach a breaking point. It's not about weakness, it's about the exposure, about what someone has been through. But even then, there's this expectation. You gotta recover, you gotta reintegrate, you gotta move on. And many try. They go home, they return to work, they build their lives, but moments still break through. a loud noise, a crowded room, a quiet night that isn't as quiet as it should be, and the body reacts. Over time, clinicians begin noticing something they just can't ignore. These patterns don't just show up in soldiers. They show up in civilians, in people who have been in accidents or who have experienced violence, who have grown up in unpredictable environments. Different lives, same reactions. Intrusive memories, avoidance, hypervigilance, the body responding as if something is still happening, even when it's not. This is where the understanding begins to widen. Trauma isn't just about war. It's about overwhelm, about experiences that exceed the nervous system's ability to process them in the very moment that they're happening. And then they leave something behind. In 1980, the DSM-3 introduces a formal diagnosis, post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. And for the first time, there's a structured way to describe what people have been experiencing. They've noticed these patterns where people's nervous system are re-experiencing situations, and now there's avoidance and hyperarousal. And because of this, there's a major shift. Because once something has a name, now you can study it, and we can discuss it in the open, and you can treat it. But the name doesn't solve everything. Questions remain. What counts as trauma? Why do some people develop lasting symptoms while others don't? How long does it last? The framework helps, but it doesn't capture the full experience. Modern research begins to focus more closely on how trauma works, not just in the mind, but in the body as well. How memory is stored and how fear responses are conditioned, how the nervous system learns patterns over time. And one idea becomes increasingly clear. Trauma isn't just remembered, it's relived. Not always through conscious thought, but through sensation. A sound or smell, a moment that feels familiar. And then suddenly, the past isn't in the past anymore. It's not a failure of logic or a lack of understanding. It's the nervous system doing exactly what it was designed to do. Protect, even when protection is no longer needed. That moment from the beginning, the plate hitting the floor. It's small, ordinary. But for some people, it connects to something else. Not consciously, but physically. The reaction comes first. The explanation comes later. And sometimes, there isn't a clear explanation at all. Across time, the pattern repeats. A person sitting in a quiet room who still feels on edge. A reaction that feels bigger than the moment. A memory that doesn't stay where it belongs. Different lives, different stories, but the same underlying question. Why does my body still feel like this? And different eras gave different answers. Shell shock, combat fatigue, trauma. Now, PTSD. The label evolves, but the experience, the body holding on to what it learned, remains. Trauma didn't begin when we named it. The human body has always been capable of remembering what it needed to survive. What changed was how we understand those reactions and whether we see them as a weakness or adaptation. Because trauma isn't the event, it's what the nervous system learns from it. And in many cases, what it's still trying to protect us from. In the episodes ahead, we'll continue exploring how diagnoses evolve and how the language we use shapes the way people understand their own minds. And I hope you'll continue listening as we explore the stories behind the labels. This is Before It Had a Name. I'm your host, John Watkins. This episode produced by Doug Wild.